Hi guys, welcome to your first ever episode of this new series where I just basically talk about a topic that's kind of relevant in the footballing world, and then I'll just give my opinion on it. I don't yet have a name for this series. I want you to leave suggestions below. Probably get about 2 comments anyway. I've been told to stop self-deprecating, but I need name suggestions because I can obviously change the title of this, so I can put the name in when I eventually get a name. But anyway, yeah. So today I'm going to be talking about, well, obviously we've just had the international break, so boring. I just want it to end every time I see it. But obviously this is a chance to, speak about the internationals because we'll be getting into the weekend football in the next few days. I'll be talking about that. So I just want to talk today about why England are just so shit. This has got to be one of the worst England teams I've ever seen. It was dire. It was absolutely dire. In these games, there was nothing in our play that I could see that gives me like encouragement for the World Cup next year. The only thing I can see is obviously we qualified. People say, you know what they say, it's good to see you're winning. It's good to see you're winning when you're not playing well, and England have showed that basically every time they won. Their 8 wins, their 2 draws. Another positive, you could maybe say we only conceded 3 goals, but again, it's against very, very poor opposition. Lithuania, Malta. We struggled to beat them. We should be getting 5, 6, 7s in those games. And I think we beat Lithuania 2-0 and then 1-0. Terrible performances. We beat Malta 4-0 away, but it wasn't a 4-0. We struggled in that game. I think the home game was 2-0, which is just shocking. For a team of Malta's standards, I mean, a lot of their players weren't even professional players, they're part-time players. Why are we on paper, if you look at it, Harry Kane, fantastic striker, he's brilliant in the Premier League. Obviously, we can see it. He's just on fire at the moment in particular. There is just the midfield area is the position where England struggle for me. I think if you look at the back 4, we only conceded 3 goals. 2 of them were Lee Griffiths free kicks against Scotland. We're actually decent our back 4 is decent. I mean, we've got all right centre backs. For me, the partnership should be Cahill with experience and Phil Jones. I know Phil Jones, you don't look at him as like the best player, but he's a very solid centre back. He can play in there. He looks very physical. He knows what he's doing. Defensively, he's not a glamorous modern day centre back where he's going to get on the ball, spray passes like a John Stones, but I just think, as we saw in the last World Cup, we made a lot of mistakes, and he's the sort of defender, he doesn't make many mistakes. Fullbacks, I think they're better than ever, possibly. Kyle Walker, for me, is one of the best right backs, if not the best in the world. Danny Rose when he's fit, and I think Bertrand, they're both fantastic fullbacks. I think the midfield area is clearly the position where we're struggling. Jordan Henderson, for me, he's a solid player, he's neat on the ball. I think personally, how on earth Harry Kane is the captain of England? He's possibly the thickest person, the thickest footballer. When I've heard him speak, how can a player like that be the captain of England? I don't get it. Henderson, he's Liverpool captain. You can tell he can lead players. He's got that kind of awareness of when you should keep it tight for 5 minutes, how to hold on to a lead, just game management. He knows how to do that. And for me, he should be England captain, not Harry Kane. But I think he's a good player in there. I think Dyer's a decent holding midfielder, but we lack creativity. And for me, Jack Wilshere should come in. A lot of people, not Arsenal fans, will say how, but for me, he could be. It's a controversial statement, but he could be the best, one of the best midfielders in the world if he stayed fit for all these years. He's just on the ball. He's just superb. He's good at running at players. His low centre of gravity, but he slips balls through. I think him behind Kane with Ali as well would be a brilliant starting 11. Maybe go with the 3 at the back. We've got the wing backs to do it. Then go with Henderson and Dyer, and then Wilshere, Ali, Kane, and it wouldn't be too dissimilar to how England play, how Tottenham play when they've got the 3 in the midfield, and then Eriksen. Obviously, I don't think Wilshere's as good as Eriksen, but he could be if he stays fit, just as creative, and that front 3 could do really well. I know Rashford's a good player. He wouldn't really fit in that system for me, unless he played up front with Harry Kane with Ali in behind. But I think this could work. For me, if you get Kane firing, there's no reason why England can't really do well. I know there's just something about when we play at major tournaments where we're just very poor. But if you get Wilshere in the team, and if you get Kane, for me Kane is vital. If you get him scoring goals, I don't think we're actually that bad defensively. How on earth Gareth Southgate got the England job? I think it just shows that was possibly the lowest point after we got knocked out from of the Euros by Iceland, and then Allardyce came in. I think that was possibly the lowest point in our career, in England history, footballing history, that we had to get Gareth fucking Southgate as our manager. I mean, who's he managed other than, I think he managed Middlesbrough, and he did quite an average job. He did a really poor job as under-21 manager. They got a very good under-21 team, actually, which is proven by, I know it's a slightly different team, but the core of that team is similar to the team that played in the Euros, I think it was 2 years earlier to this Euros, where they got to the semi-final, and they got knocked out in the group stage, and they were terrible. And I think that just shows that he's not a good manager. For me, most people would have been better than him. He's been England manager for a year now, I think. He doesn't have the excuse that he hasn't acclimatised to football, to the team yet. I know it's difficult when you're an international manager and you're only seeing the team every couple months, but for the team that he's got, he should probably be doing better. But it is quite baffling. Why are we so bad? I think, for me, it is that midfield area, and I think if we got a half-decent coach in, England would be much better. If we got a coach that could motivate the players. I mean, someone like, for me, people say that the manager, the coach, they don't have much of a difference in the team, but that some people say it's more down to the players. You can't blame the manager too much when things go wrong. But the manager, you can see in Newcastle, a good manager makes such a big difference. I think Rafa Benitez, if he was not manager, they wouldn't have come straight back up. I mean, they did have the best team in the Championship, but they would not finish around mid-table, which I think they will this season. They would be relegation candidates. Their lowest point in English football has got to be now. It was dire. It was so flat against Lithuania and against Slovenia and in every single qualifying game, and I was livid. I wish I'd made the videos then, because I would have been a lot more angry, but there you go. Thanks for watching. If you do like this sort of football video, please tell me what you think of these videos in the comments and give me a name suggestion. And thanks for watching, and subscribe.